Just how good of a student is Greg Heffley? In this video, we are going to be talking about every single grade that Greg Heffley has ever gotten on a school assignment or an exam. And we're going to start with the very first book. The first mention we get of Greg's academic performance is the fact that he got a D in handwriting. But while this could also be just because he taped his fingers together to make sure that he doesn't get the cheese touch. Midway through the book, Greg Heffley has a quiz in geography, and he doesn't study for it because he sits right next to the map of the United States. But he ended up failing the quiz because the teacher covered it up. And while Greg was pretty good at Home Economics 1, where he knows how to sew, his independent study class didn't go as well, because he was in a group with Ricky Fisher that wrote a bunch of curse words on a piece of paper. He also didn't care at all about his history paper in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick. And because he borrowed one of Roderick's papers that Roderick ended up writing for himself, it turns out that Greg didn't have anything to turn in during his history class. And it looks like this was a pretty big portion of his grade, to the point where Greg contemplated if he was going to have to take summer school. Greg has also stated that his pre-algebra teacher watches him like a hawk. As a result of that, he cannot cheat off of Alex Aruda, and he actually flunks his pop quiz in pre-algebra. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Last Straw is where we really see more information about Greg's horrible academic performance. Because he takes after-school naps and because he tries to watch TV while doing his homework, it doesn't result in the best possible outcomes. He had to do a 4-page paper on biology, and I guess you can tell how that turned out. He also got a 0 on a quiz in geography because he was trying to study for it and watch football at the same time. But hey, at least Greg Heffley uses the short stories in Sherlock Sammy Does It Again in order to basically milk them and get good grades on his English homework. But aside from that, Greg was also close to flunking physical education because he had absolutely no energy to do any of the physical activities because of a sugar withdrawal. So because of these mostly bad grades, he doesn't decide to study. In fact, to avoid being punished, he sneaks out with his grandma to play bingo the night before he had a science test, which he ended up also failing. Now that I think about it, maybe Greg's dad was right to sign him up for military academy. It would have taught him discipline. In Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Ugly Truth, we also get to learn more about Greg's academic situation. He apparently makes a lot of mistakes on algebra, and couldn't even take care of an egg for 24 hours, and that cost him 25% of his grade. In Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Hard Luck, though, he makes quite a bit of an academic comeback. He starts off the first quarter with A's and B's on his report card, and apparently that's good enough to get a hot fudge sundae. I never got anything, I just got a good job. And if it was a B, I'd probably get lectured a lot. This is to say that I never had a B, but okay, anyway, moving on. He performs the academic comeback of a lifetime, basically able to catch up on weeks' worth of homework assignments with a little help from his mom. But it looks like he just goes back to his old habits in Diary of a Wimpy Kid Double Down, where he just has a test on world capitals and could not remember a single one. So that's basically Greg Heffley's academic performance, in addition to that project that he has to do about the countries in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Meltdown. I think he had to do Malta, and he just completely rushed and butchered the presentation. So yeah, not the brightest bulb in the world.